All right, guys, for today, we're going to start the Study Buddy app, which is activity 1.6 in PLTW. You can see here that I am already logged in to my PLTW. And then let me turn on my little mouse device thing so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm in 1.6, which is called Bug Blasters, but it actually creates code for an app that we're going to use called the Study Buddy app. So I'm going to click on there. It jumps me all the way down. In Study Buddy, it wants all these activities to be done. This is what we're going to kind of use as our grading scale to make sure that we know what kind of code we need to fix. So the user, which means on your Samsung tablet or if you're at home, your cell phone, can color and label the cell with your fingertip. You can draw a filled-in circle by tapping on the canvas. Note that the circle drawn on the canvas must be filled in with the color of the user chose. You have to be able to adjust the size of the circle drawn using the slider component. You have to choose the color, yellow, blue, or green, using the buttons provided. You need to be able to clear the canvas, and then you need to be able to take a picture using your camera to replace the current background image, which is a cell, with a new picture. The directions tell you that there are bugs in there. It does not tell you what they are. It does not tell you how to fix them. So we're going to do this one together. I need to get my app file, so I'm going to go back up to the top of the page. Very top of the page. Underneath resources, there's my app, AC16 Study Buddy Fix Me. I click on it, I tell it to download, and then I go into App Inventor. In my App Inventor, I'm going to go up to Projects, Import from Computer, choose the file, and I'm going to go to Recents. I've downloaded it twice, so I'm going to go to my first one. You probably only have one to pick. Click OK. And get your file in there. Okay. Now, you can see on my screen that this shows an animal cell. I have colors of yellow, blue, and green. I can take a picture, clear it, and change the dot size with the slider, just like it told me back in the PLTW directions. So I'm back here with, sorry, my book doesn't want to jump to where it wants to be today. So back here in the app description, I can see in my App Inventor that everything's already built for me here. One thing I want you to notice on this app for the first time, it uses something called Canvas 1. Canvas 1 is found in the Drawing and Animation tab. Anytime you want to be able to move something around on a screen, like your finger, or say a ball if we're creating a maze or something like that, it has to go on a canvas. Without a canvas, nothing else can be moved. So you can see on here the canvas is this box where the cell is. And if we look, click on canvas, you can see that the background image is our animal cell. Everything else is not on the canvas, it's underneath. So we can't move any of the stuff that's down here. So let's go into our code. Actually, first we're going to connect. Because we're trying to fix an issue that already exists, we need to know what it actually looks like on our device. So I'm going to connect to my companion. For this, I'm going to use my cell phone. Since I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you're at home, you don't have access to our school tablets. Let me show you how I do this on my phone. So here's my cell phone. I'm going to slide down. If I didn't already see it, I'd search for App Inventor. If you have an Apple, it's easy to get from the Apple Store. If you have an Android, it's from the Play Store. Either way, that icon is going to look like that bumblebee. So I'm going to click on my bumblebee. I need to scan my code. So for that, I have to go back to here. And I think it didn't like that I was already connected, so I'm going to try that again real quick. Reset my connection. All right, so I got my app. This is what it looks like on my screen. So I know that my directions said I should be able to draw a dot with the color I want. So I'm going to click on yellow to see if I can make a yellow dot. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but it actually made a green dot that's not filled in. And it didn't go where my thumb told it to. So I'm going to try blue. That gave me a red dot way over there. I'm going to try green. Green gave me a yellow dot. And none of them are filled in. So the first thing I know I need to fix is that my dots are not filled in, and they're not where I'm telling them to go either. So I'm going to go back to my code. And I'm going to go to my blocks up here. And then I can see on my screen right away that all my colors are here in the middle. And it says that when my green button is clicked, set canvas 1 paint color to yellow. When yellow is clicked, set canvas 1 paint color to green. When blue is clicked, change it to red. You have 2 ways to change these. You can just click on the color itself and it'll give you a palette and you can choose a new color. Or since these ones are just swapped, I can just drag and drop to fix those and then click to pick blue on that one. Now my colors should be fixed and I can test it because remember it's a live app. So now I click yellow, tap on my screen, tap somewhere else, and it gave me a yellow dot that's not filled in, but at least it's the right color now. So back to my app. Now I want to fix it so that it's a colored in dot. As I'm looking through the code, I need to find the one that says draw circle. So the first one I have on here, I've got center X, and it says get Y. As we all know, X's should go with X's and Y's should go with Y's. So under this center X, I'm going to change that top one from get Y, change that drop down to say get X. So now my center X and my get X, my center Y, get Y. So then radius, slider 1, thumb position, means that that slider that's on my page should make the dots bigger and smaller as I go. And then fill says false. That's why my circle is empty right now. So I'm going to change my fill drop to true. Go back to my testing. There's my screen. I'm going to go with blue this time. It's easier for you guys to see. I hit right here and my blue dot is following my finger. So I'm good to go. Next thing it wants me to do is be able to draw on the screen with my finger. So when I try this, I'm going to try to draw a star. And you'll see that when I tried to draw a star, it just made a bunch of zigzag lines that go from bottom left to top right. It doesn't actually draw when I want it to. So I'm going to go back to my code. Next thing down, underneath my Canvas 1 touch, is Canvas 1 drag. So inside the Canvas 1 drag, I've still got the X1 says get previous Y. Obviously, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to change that to previous X. My Y1 says get previous X. I'm going to change that one to previous Y. My X2 get current X. My Y2 get current Y. So I got those fixed. Let's go back and see if that works. I'm going to change my color to green. And now I can draw where my finger goes. My screen's getting kind of crowded, so I need to clear it. But my clear button doesn't seem to want to clear my screen. So let's go see if that's wrong. Back to my code. I'm kind of looking around. I don't need to touch the canvas. I don't need to drag the canvas. This is probably going to cause an issue, but that's not what I'm trying to fix right now. And here it is. When clear button click, and it says call canvas 1 clear, but you can see it's kind of a weird color. That means the block is disabled. Somebody, whoever built the code, turned the block off as they were testing and forgot to turn it back on. So the way you turn that on is to double click it. And that's not working on my iPad, so I'm just gonna try to right click. Now remember, to right click, you gotta put your mouse on the first word in the code you want. 2 fingers on the trackpad. Mine has to be on the bottom right side. You should be able to right click and eventually get to the point where you can enable block. If your right click isn't working, you'll just have to go back into your code and redraw it. It'll be in this canvas code right here. So I've got that turned on now. It's purple. Let's see if that one works. Back to my camera, find my clear button, and it works. Everything disappears now. I haven't tested dot size, so I'm gonna make that really big, and then I'm gonna change the color, make it really small. My slider works as well. If I look back at my PLTW directions, it says color and label the cell with your fingertip. That's done. Draw a circle that's filled in. That one's done. Adjust the size of the circle with the slider. That's done. Choose the color, yellow, blue, or green. That one's done. We can clear the canvas. That's done. Take a picture using your device's camera and replace the current background image. That one's we haven't touched yet. Back in App Inventor, we have these two things down here at the bottom that we haven't done yet, right? They're both empty, but the code is here. So it says when take picture button is clicked, do, well, let's take a picture. When camera 1, after picture, so after this code works, it's going to trigger this one. So I'll drag that code up in there. It says it's going to get the image I just took. Go back to my camera. I'm going to tell it, take a picture. There's my photo. I'm going to say use it. Sorry, there was a use down at the bottom. And now that pencil holder on my desk is my picture on the screen. Everything still works the same way it did before. This is all that's required to fix Study Buddy, but I want you to make it so when I hit that clear button, it goes back to my animal cell picture. And I'm not going to show you how to do that. You should be able to figure that one out on your own. That's it for Study Buddy. It's going to lead into our next project, which is creating your own coloring book. If you have questions, you need to let one of us know. Have a good day.